So I'm Fred Kempe. I'm President and CEO of the Atlantic Council, and it's my pleasure today to kick off our first day of programming at the Atlantic Council's first ever Global Food Security Forum as an official sideline event of the G20 Summit here in Bali. So the Atlantic Council's mission for 60 years has been to galvanize constructive U.S. leadership alongside partners and allies to shape the future. The mission is old, but the relationship for us in Indonesia is new. The Atlantic Council in many ways is a misnomer geographically because we've been the Global Atlantic Council for some time with programs and centers that span interests around the globe wherever we have partners and allies working to shape the future. We're known as a think tank. I've never liked the term. We're more of an action tank. We like actors, practitioners, scholars like you who want to come here not just to hear speeches, but to come up with ideas, come up with recommendations, come up with solutions for a better world, and in this case, particularly with food security. And so I'm delighted in that spirit to convene such an accomplished group of local, regional, and international leaders across government, business, civil society, media, for today's series of roundtable discussions on global food security. For those that are joining us virtually, and this is an on-record session, we also have a virtual global audience. This will also be recast for people at sometimes better hour for the region. But we welcome you all, and you can follow along with the hashtag Atlantic Council Food Security. So the hashtag on Twitter, Atlantic Council Food Security. We're still using Twitter. We're not sure we'd invest in it. But I'd like to first acknowledge and thank our forum co-hosts, including the Ministry of Defense and coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Investment of the Republic of Indonesia, for their partnership and hospitality in organizing this conference. So a huge thanks to Minister Prabowo Subianto and Minister Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, who will speak to us tomorrow, in sessions tomorrow and keynotes tomorrow. I most of all want to thank sitting to my left, my seat next to me and the seat next to him, Gaurav and Sharon Srivastava of the Gaurav and Sharon Srivastava Foundation, our forum co-host and underwriting partner. So Gaurav and Sharon, thank you for your friendship, thank you for your vision, thank you for your generosity. We quite literally would not be here without you, so thank you so much for that. I also want to salute someone I've just respected for many years for his service to our country and for his intellectual leadership, General Wes Clark, former Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, of NATO, and member and the senior member attending this conference of the Atlantic Council Board of Directors. He is here as our board leader and was a driving force between this impressive conference. Where are you, Wes? Here we go. General Clark. I'm very briefly going to preview what you can expect over the next 2 days. Today we'll engage in 2 roundtable discussions on the state of global food security and challenges involved. These sessions will allow us to delve into the topic deeply and in a little bit more of an expert manner, drilling a little deeper than perhaps we'll do tomorrow. And lay the groundwork for tomorrow's programming, which will feature a diverse set of keynotes, fireside chats, and panel discussions, expanding on the topics we addressed today. Not only will we have Minister Prabowo and Minister Luhut, we'll also have the U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer joining us virtually, a couple of members of Congress, so it's going to be a very strong day. And then lastly, and we hope you'll all be here for the close tomorrow evening. We're going to close the conference with an exclusive concert for those who are attending our conference with with the celebrated singer-songwriter John Legend, who has, they call him an EGOT awarded singer-songwriter. That means he's won the Emmy, he's won the Grammy, he's won the Golden Globe, he's won the Oscar, he's won the Tony. It's extraordinary that we'll have him tomorrow playing beside Indonesian singer-songwriter Sandi Sondoro. I think all of you from Indonesia know him well. And the U.S. Air Force Band of the Pacific, which you heard up behind us today. So it's truly an extraordinary way to conclude these 2 days. Global food security sits at the nexus of the world's most pressing challenges as food security rises, threatened by near-term shocks like the COVID-19 pandemic, Putin's illegal war in Ukraine, and long-term risks of climate change and sustained conflict. Ending world hunger will require enhanced public-private cooperation and wide-ranging innovation in agriculture, technology, finance, and policy. Putin's weaponization of food security in the last year has underscored that food security has got to be discussed together with energy security, with military security, with all aspects of international and national security. One cannot deal with it separately. Today's workshop roundtables serve as a venue for and driver of this cooperation. The goal of these discussions is to allow all of you an opportunity to delve into food security challenges and solutions in this smaller setting than tomorrow, laying the groundwork for our second day. At the end of the conference, we will be distilling insights from our meetings and collecting them into a memo and concrete recommendations for leaders at the G20 Summit and beyond. So as you make your comments, as you make your statements, as you raise your questions, keep in mind what in there might be a notion that we might want to put a pin in as an idea for action. Our challenge to each of you is to help us identify these concrete solutions and recommendations that we today can turn to policy action. So an action tank, not a think tank. I want to remind everyone that this session is on the record and is being live streamed for a public audience. If you wish to speak or provide comments, raise your hand and we will pass you a microphone. And now, before we get started, I'd like to turn to Gaurav for a few remarks. And let me thank you once again for your vision and your support of this wonderful gathering.
Thank you, Fred. Excellencies, members, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and warmest greetings. On behalf of our devoted planners, partners, facilitators, and my courageous wife and life partner, Sharon, we welcome you. We welcome you with open arms and optimistic hearts. I am emboldened to see so many familiar faces, friends, colleagues, and my extended global family and cherished community, united in a singularly imperative mission to end the pain and suffering of all human beings. A mission that must succeed. I would like to thank the Atlantic Council, Fed Kempe, and his unrivaled team. Thank you. Their perseverance, resolve, and commitment to making this momentous event a reality. I would like to thank our other partners, the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Indonesia, and the Coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and the Investment of the Republic of Indonesia for making this forum possible. I would also like to thank my dear friend Hashim for making this event possible. Thank you. There are innumerable challenges facing our planet, our citizens, and our way of life. Obstacles that threaten to breach and undermine our most basic core human values, to overshadow our proudest achievements, to completely replace peace, love, and benevolence with war, hate, and indefensible cruelty. An affront to everything as we as human beings are. Time and time again, it's been said, we cannot and we will not let this happen. And still, as we gather today, desperate men, women, and innocent children from all four corners of the globe are facing food insecurity, driven to the brink of starvation, suffering, robbed of dignity, respect, and hope. But the question is, how can this be? How can this abomination, this seismic crisis of inhumanity, continue to blight the existence of even one global citizen? We know the contributing factors far too well. The social and economic root causes, the vicious cycles of poverty, inequity, and bloody conflicts, which only serve to divide and destroy. These unrivaled problems need expedited solutions. These complex questions demand pragmatic answers. And that's why we have come from far and wide to shoulder the burden of blame together, to share the responsibility of rectifying our wrongs, to harness the conviction and tenacity of our most brilliant minds and leaders, and tirelessly work together to restore the sanctity of human race, to ensure peace and prosperity for everyone. This forum, these workshops, are about discovery and discourse, about difficult conversations that must be had. The conflict in Ukraine, the ramifications of COVID-19, the catastrophic market shocks, and the critical interconnectivity of food and energy. That reminds us we must work together. Ladies and gentlemen, the goal is clear, the stakes immeasurable, the mandate divine. Thank you and Godspeed.